My name is Brian Cain. I'm the Director of Sales for the Capitol Plaza Hotel, Tapestry collection by Hilton. We are a family business. Our history goes back to 1992 when the flood happened, and the big flood. And my father-in-law, Fred Bashera, whose main business is the Capitol Theater, and across the street sat this hotel, the Old Days Inn, that he had kind of an eye on because it had not reopened. In March of 1994, we reopened and opened it as the Capitol Plaza Hotel and Conference Center.
So, Brian, we're about 6 months into the COVID-19 pandemic. What challenges have you all faced as a hotel during that time?
Yeah, so many properties, not only in Vermont, but across the country in hospitality has gone through great challenges because the closing was immediate. The closing was, a single day. And so we think back to, last February and last March. I don't think any of us could have predicted, how big of an impact all of this was going to happen. And when we closed, it was, I think all of us kind of thought, okay, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, maybe a month, and we'll get through this type thing. And as things worsened and the level of seriousness increased, we tried to make our best decisions, not only for our business, but very much for our employees. On a business sense, that meant all hotel rooms went away, all revenue for that went away. But we were in our busy season of conferences and legislative season and a lot of association work, because about 80% of the business that we do in our conference and banquet is Vermont-based businesses, and they all stopped immediately.
Mm-hmm. So I know things have changed slowly over the last 6 months as to how you've been allowed to operate. Can you talk about how your business has adapted during that time?
Yeah. I think the first thing is to give a little bit of additional feedback on what happened is once we closed, and then once the majority of our employees had to go on furlough, we were about halfway through a process of rebranding ourselves from an independent hotel, Capitol Plaza Hotel and Conference Center, to branding with the Hilton family. And so that we were going to be able to create Capitol Plaza Tapestry collection by Hilton. And we had to keep that process going. This is one of the benefits of us becoming a Hilton property, is that I'll have this rechecked after we're done, but there's a cleaning protocol for every room. This is our executive suite, and it's got a beautiful spa bathroom. It's a radiant floor, it's a soaking tub, it's a spa shower, it's a bidet, it's luxury, it's a TV in the corner when you're sitting in the soaking tub, it's luxury. And so once we closed and there was no there was no revenue that was coming in, we were also halfway through this product improvement of our hotel rooms, our public space, our hallways, brand new Wi-Fi systems, brand new hardware systems, brand new software systems. And frankly, even if COVID had not hit, it would have been the biggest change that we had ever made. And so that was our overall efforts during the 3 months that we had closed, and they were very intense. In a positive way, it kept us extremely busy during those times, and we were able to keep a handful of employees on that were involved with that. The big feature in all of these rooms is the handmade furniture, which is from a Vermont company, so it's white maple.
So what has it been like as you've been bringing back more employees and bringing back more customers? What has that transition been like for you?
Yeah, it's been gradual, and it definitely started slow. And everybody thinks for Vermont, fall foliage is the big season. It is, but summer is a very important season for all of us in the hospitality industry because so many people, come to our beautiful state during summer as well.
Mm-hmm.
And they had set the guideline for 50%, but there wasn't that many travelers to even approach 50% until maybe about a month ago. And so my overall sense is that it was extremely gradual. With that meant that because revenues were so tight and we were trying our best to pay our expenses, we wanted to bring employees back when we had to work for them. And it was also a learning curve for us on the COVID sense of things, from how to accept guests and having them come from healthy areas, and saying no to those people who were wanting to travel and they were coming from a red area. And that's a hard conversation. And so everything was new. Absolutely everything was new, even from our most experienced customer service people. We have always followed the guidelines from the governor and from the state, and feel like they've done a very, very good job. And I think most of us Vermonters are really quite proud of how we've gotten through this whole thing and how healthy our state has been. Really, I feel like what our customers see is that it's a very COVID-safe environment.
So loss of income, but also still having to, do all of these improvements. I mean, were you guys able to take advantage of any government or local programs to help you guys out financially?
Yes, we did. We were able to take advantage of the PPP, but it was a challenge because sometimes the 6-week window that we had to be able to bring employees back did not fit the criteria of the reopening of the hotel. Other grant programs, my wife, who was the chief financial officer, did all of that stuff, and so she could list it a lot better than me. But, if there was any criteria that we would fit, we have applied for, and we have certainly benefited from and really appreciative of some of the programs that are out there.
Mm-hmm. So then tell us how people can support the Capitol Plaza right now. What can we as a community do for you guys?
Well, first of all, we are, 3 generations of a family that have been here. And so we always feel very close to this community, to our friends, to our regular local patrons at J. Morgan's, to families that have weddings here and families that have social events and birthdays and all of that stuff. And so we want to be able to reassure them that that stuff in that gradual sense can continue to happen.
Great. And so then how can people find you guys online so that they can get your phone number?
The easiest way has always been our website, which is capitolplaza.com. We always say that capital ends with an OL. And frankly, we love the phone calls because, for that period of time that we were talking about, most of the phone calls were, "I'm sorry, we have to cancel our event." Well, we love the ones now that say, we're considering doing a small event, and can you please coach us through how to do that in these crazy days.
Awesome. Well, Brian, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today. We really appreciate it. And best of luck.
We wish all of the local businesses the best, and we'll get through this together. And I guess we feel very proud that we're part of Montpelier and a small community where we can really talk with one another and support each other. So this is one piece of that.